Do you want 10% off of all your purchases on Jinx.com? Well, it's your lucky day. Use the promo code QuitStalling_366 when you check out and save yourself 10% off of all the gamer swag you can get your hands on. Yes! QuitStalling_366 saves you 10% off of your Shroud #1 fan shirt. Okay, it saves you 10% off of your Shroud undies that I know Diego purchased recently, along with his Shroud bobblehead and his Shroud PJs. Okay, Apex Legends is a thing, people. All right, we're on the hype train. We're on the hype train. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, use the promo code QuitStalling_366 to check out and save yourself a little moolah. Save yourself a little scratchy, a little bing bong, and other words for currency. Yes, QuitStalling_366 at checkout. Oh my word. Welcome everyone to GameByte, your weekly podcast for all things gaming. Well, not all things, most things gaming. Gaming news, you know, the hottest topics of the week usually the week, but sometimes, you know, we take a break and it's of the 2 weeks. But you know what? That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm your host. I am Herald Silvestre. I'm welcoming you and everyone else to the QuitStalling Media Studio, because that is where I am currently. And we got a good show today, and so a little bit of a somber note where we're starting off, or where we're ending actually, because things aren't looking so good over in the HQ of our overlords. But we'll get to that in just a little bit. Let's park the mood up a little, just a little bit, just a little bow wow with my co-hosts. I never do this show alone, and this show would be impossible without each and every one of these fine men. And we're gonna start things off with a man who's always been by my side. No homo.
No homo.
I saw his face.
No homo.
None of you can see his face yet, but I saw his face, and I'm sorry. Well, this guy, it's video games. Oh, no. Former Jack Black. It's InstaDZ, aka D's Nuts. Hey Diego, how you doing, man?
Yeah, that's one.
Kidding. I intentionally muted it because Herald was like, "This is a good intro, but I can't have him have the perfect intro to the show just yet." The show has a good one. What's up, guys?
Well played.
All right, good job, DC. Well, onwards, we got another co-host today.
Oh my god! For the Spotify listeners, if you want to just like tune in for like the first 5 minutes just to see how this whole shenanigan went down. Bunch of magical cuts and timings of comedic jokes.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you so much for joining us, everyone. And of course, the other side of the spectrum, we have of course, QuitStalling resident was it Tavern Keeper, Mick DeGuzman. How are you doing?
It's the other side of the screen, not really other side of the spectrum. But hey guys, good evening. Good evening to everybody watching. Good evening to everybody here. Diego, Harold, and then that one guy that Harold is going to announce who's with us today. Yeah.
Am I doing it? Am I doing it right now?
You're about to do it. You're about to do it.
Right,
Wait, should I do it? Should I do it? Wait, should I do it?
Too late. On the other
man.
side of the screen, we got the 4 sides of the screen today. All right. We're breaking things up because we are no longer just a 3-man squad from time to time. We have regular 4th seats. Okay, regular 4th seats. And this man is as regular as your bowel movement every morning after some coffee. He is no Will Smith, and he's definitely no Robin Williams. But he is, of course, the ElderDjinn. How you doing, Elgene?
Okay, first of all, you compared me to lower bowel movement. Like, really? Second of all, hi guys, how is everybody doing? I'm still reeling from how we started so well and then turned into this. You know what I mean? So
turned into bowel movement.
Yeah, it's a little weird to me, but hey, otherwise, good morning, evening. I'm sorry, I'm in the U.S. It's morning here, but otherwise, good evening, everybody. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Glad to be here.
Well,
really glad to be here.
Kind of like what Tauli says, you know. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. And then he says a bunch of other things in Spanish. So it's like, yeah. Because you cover all the bases. We are a global society now, you know? We
Yes.
Especially here in the gaming world, the gaming universe. everyone is awake at different times. So good stuff. And again, welcome to everyone in chat. We saw Human Panda there already earlier. Thank you for tuning in. Let's get things going, guys. And how we always start the show off is by asking everyone, what have you been playing? And everyone listening, if you're on Spotify, if you're watching live on Twitch right now, you can play the home game as well. Tweet us or message us in the chat if you're live. Just find a way to let us know, what have you been playing? And I think we all know the answer to things. So I'm going to start off with a guy I never start off with because he's relatively new. Elgene, man, what have you been playing?
So, we're going to sound like a broken record, just so you guys know. But I've been playing a couple of things. I've been playing Apex Legends, which, just pay attention to that. It's actually one of the very few games that I've actually given a shit about this year, like, to be honest with you. Like, for a Battle Royale game, I'm thoroughly impressed by it. So yeah, I've been playing a lot of that, trying to get good, and I'm still garbage at it, even though Mick tells me I'm good with the wingman. I don't know where he gets this.
He is good with the wingman, and I can attest to that.
He says you are a good wingman. He's not saying you're good with the wingman.
Well,
that makes
you're
sense.
just taking away so much. Oh man, those uplifting words are now just rubbish.
Well, I mean, like I said, I'm not that great at the game, but I'm still trying to get better with mouse and keyboard since I'm so used to using controller. But anyway, but besides that, I've recently picked up an old game from the PS3 era that I was a really real big fan of. It's called Kingdoms of Amalur: Reckoning. I
thought you were gonna say Kingdom Hearts.
No.
Kingdoms of Amalur, dude. Oh,
yeah, Kingdoms of Amalur.
Yeah, that game is okay. Go. Sorry.
Yeah, because like that game just flew under everybody's radar because it released at the same time Skyrim did. But the game is so much fun. It looks so pretty. Like, it's like WoW if you put it on the PlayStation. Like, that's how it looks like. You know what I mean? So, but it's so much fun, and I'm so thrilled to actually get it again on PC just to play it, and I can actually stream it in full detail, and it looks so nice. And I'm so excited to play it again. So yeah, that's what I've been playing. Mick, what have you been playing?
Oh, hey, wait, thank you, man. Yeah, no. Before we, first things first, let's get it out of the way. I've been playing a lot of Apex Legends. I'm level 52. A friend of mine introduced me to the heirloom box, which is apparently one of the rarest cosmetic items you can get in the game. Apparently, inside the heirloom box is an heirloom knife, I think a banner, and a quip. Quip, like their comment. I don't know if it's a kill quip or like an entry quip, but it's one of the rarest items in the game. And apparently you can get it either two ways. Either you get lucky on a box, or you spend about $500 to eliminate all of the duplicates that in the game. So unlock practically everything, and you will guarantees that you will get it. So I'm not gonna do the second one because I don't have the money for that. So I'm just gonna pray to the Lord. I'm gonna pray to the Lord I'm gonna pray to who's the CEO of EA. I'm gonna pray to that guy. I'm gonna ask him if he would be so nice to actually just give me one. Okay. Aside from that, I actually got
Andrew
invited.
Wilson. Sorry, Andrew Wilson is
Andrew
the
Wilson.
CEO.
Dear Andrew Wilson. I'm just playing.
Isn't it Vince Zampella?
Vince
no,
I don't know.
Respawn.
Oh,
yeah, he's the guy who
Respawn guy. Respawn guy. Okay. But anyway, aside from that, I along with two of my other friends were actually invited to play the Division 2 private beta over the weekend.
Ooh.
I got to play it for a good 2 hours before I got disconnected, and then and it continued for somewhat about maybe a few days. So I didn't get to play so much, but I got to play one big mission, which is apparently the gameplay is it's almost the same. It has its differences. I mean, it's a little more polished. Movement is less clunky. It's a lot faster, more responsive when you press and you try to do lateral movements. But aside from that, it still feels like the bullet sponge game that I fell in love with. So because of Apex Legends, I'm actually iffy about buying it, but I do still want to buy it though. Like 60% I want to buy it. 40% is more of, no, I'll just play Apex. I want to get the heirloom box anyway.
Okay.
And aside from that, probably the usuals: Hearthstone, Ragnarok Mobile, and Pokemon Magikarp Jump. Yeah, that's it. That's it on my.
So, yeah, last week you put Pokemon Magikarp Jump in the notes, and I was like, what is this? September 2017?
Dude,
Like,
that's dude. Okay, I know that we've been doing this for about 70 or 80 episodes, but before that, I actually mentioned this in one of the episodes that I was playing it nonstop for like a good 4 weeks. And then I stopped mentioning it, but I was still playing it, and then I stopped, and then I went back because I'm on a quest to actually finish the game, and that will take me around 200 or 300 specific Magikarps before I actually get to finish the game. Yes, there is an end to the game. It's called the Legend Arena, where you just keep ranking up higher and higher, so you could level up your Magikarp even higher. But you're going against other people rather than the storyline, which is like a league style where all your opponents are predetermined. They have a predetermined value already. Unlike the one in that other league, the multiplayer style league, where if you go against other people, it's completely random, so you don't know their power, their jumping power, or anything like that. That's how my friend explained it to me, so that's why I was like, I should give this another go.
Okay.
So yeah, I am back. Aside from that,
oh, there's more.
No, aside from that, it's a really good toilet game. Yeah, that's really all I have to say about it. Well, what about you, Diego? What have you been playing?
It's a game called Absolute Potential
Extremeness.
Yes.
Legends.
Yeah, I haven't been playing anything but Apex Legends the past week. I uninstalled. I finally had a good reason to uninstall Black Ops. A friend of mine wanted me to play PUBG, so I said no, I don't want to play. But then he just said, "I'll buy it for you." And then, like, okay, so and then I played PUBG like for 1 hour, and then like a couple of days after, I uninstalled it because Apex came out. What else did I uninstall? I uninstalled Dota after reinstalling it again.
What? Why?
Because Apex is a better game. No, that's very subjective. But Apex is just what I want to play now, and I don't want to play anything else.
Oh,
okay, Mick. We never played Dota together anyway. We never did.
Because I kept asking you, let's play auto chess.
Auto chess?
Auto chess is fun.
Is that
it's an arcade-based game. I'll explain it later in the after show.
What does that have to do with Dota?
It's in the game. It's in the game. Trust me, it's in the game.
See, that's
Dota Auto Chess. It's called Dota Auto Chess.
Dota.
Pretty cool.
Yeah,
Dota Auto Chess.
Dota Auto Chess. Oh, it's fine.
Dota Auto Chess.
Dota Auto Chess. But yeah, that's all I've been playing Apex the past week. But pretty much that's it. How about you, Harold? How about you? What have you been playing?
Ooh, they asked him.
We always do now. We never forget this time.
Thanks for the handoff, DZ. So what I've been playing, I have managed to play a little bit of Apex Legends as well. I've been enjoying my time inside the, I guess you could call it the battle arena. Is there a specific name for it? Like,
I think
Battle Royale.
We don't know.
Oh yeah, I've spent time inside Apex Legends, and it's been pretty fun. Typical initial impression for me was it's a battle royale, and then like everyone else, I start to see how fun and addictive it is. And I think part of it is the fact that you pretty much insta-queue into a game, so you don't really have to wait, and that really reduces the need to, or the feeling of wanting to leave. Because like I can just be like, okay, I'll just click on ready, and then I'll play again, and then whenever I feel like it, I'm done. There's something to the psychology of that makes it easier to play and makes it that much more addictive. So I'm enjoying myself in there. As Bimo King of Boo in the chat says, Apex Master Race, yes, thank you, friend. Apex Master Race.
Finally, someone who notices it.
Yeah, man. Bimo King of Boo. That is a reference to Adventure Time. The final episode. Yeah. Spoiler alert. Hold on. I think I still have that on the soundboard.
Holy spoiler alert!
Thank you.
See, I helped you out, man.
Pretty convincing.
Close enough. Thank you, Robin. But yeah, aside from that, I continue to carry my Chicago Bulls towards the top seed in the East. I am quite a formidable basketball player in the video game world. So yeah, yeah, entire franchise and entire city just on my shoulders. No big deal. And aside from that, me and DZ hosted, as we always do, the Quit Stalling Overwatch Scrim Nights, and it was fun. We have a new caster with us. His name is Renzosaurus, as we have mentioned in the pre-show. Really good guy, cool guy, super cool guy. I could not, DZ, I don't get why other people might not give that guy a chance, because that guy is brilliant. That guy is really good. So good stuff. Looking forward to shoutcasting more with Renzo, and who knows, into the DZ, aka These Nuts, if Apex Legends gets a proper spectator mode, unlike what we saw last night in the Twitch tournament, we might just get the shoutcasted ourselves. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah,
who knows?
That would be great. Yeah,
hey,
who knows?
I'd even try it out.
Yeah,
even if I'm not so good at it.
For real. Well, guys, we got a lot to talk about on today's show. For those of you listening, watching in the chat right now, let us know what you've been playing. But for now, we do have a lot of things to talk about. So let's get to it. Let's get to the news.
This Week in Video Games.
Yes, This Week in Video Games. This Week in Video Games is brought to you, of course, by the Quit Stalling Geekcast. Check us out tomorrow. No, not tomorrow anymore. Friday. Gosh dang it. It changes so much. Damn it, Wancho. Friday, 1 p.m. Philippine Standard Time. Thursday, 9 p.m. California time. Yes, Friday, 1 p.m. Philippine Standard Time in the afternoon. Thursday evening, California time. I got one of those right. If you're watching on Twitch right now, it's on the lower left side. You'll see the schedule showing up. If you have a widescreen monitor, I guess. If not, you'll find the schedule somewhere there below. And of course, you can just click on the link that says schedule, and it'll take you to our Google Drive, which needs to be updated now that I think about it. I'm gonna do that right now. But yes, it's This Week in Video Games, and we got a lot of news to talk about, guys. We're gonna save the heavy hitting stuff for the end, but for the meantime, I guess we should talk about, I don't know, Apex Legends. Sound good?
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
We already talked about it, so yeah, let's talk about it again.
We can breeze
let's
through
do
it
it.
quick.
Apex Legends.
Yeah, we can breeze through it quickly since it's been a week and there's a lot of some developments over the past week. So who wants to start off? Who wants to do this one?
I would like to dabble in. So last week we spoke about Apex Legends. It released the day before the GameByte episode of last week, where we had Vincent and Rob from Gameako. Shout out to you guys if ever you're watching.
Yeah.
Or you're listening through Spotify or any other place where you find podcasts, and we're in. But it's been a week, and apparently they have already reached 25 million registered users in just 1 week.
That's
crazy.
ridiculous.
That is ridiculously fast. And I think I mentioned this last week, where I said that it's actually a very polished game, and I feel like that it's a lot of people see it now. A lot of people see how polished this game is. I mean, okay, fine. There's still a constant crashing from time to time. There's still a little bit of bugs, but put all of those aside, it's still a well-built game. You could still play like 3 or 4 full games before you even feel a bug coming on, or
That's true.
crashing your game, right?
That's true.
I mean, all 4 of us have played the game, and we can't. As much as we don't like the publisher, we can't really say anything bad about the game.
I try not to think about the publisher.
I hate it.
I try to focus more on the developing team.
I focus more on the developer, and I think Diego has something.
Yeah,
has some really good knowledge about it. Go ahead.
I've asked people what do you know about Apex? What do you know about the development team? I asked them, do you know what other game they made? Everyone keeps telling me, they're the same guys who made Titanfall, right? I'm like, yeah, Titanfall was a good game, but deep down, like even below that, Respawn Entertainment, for those of you who don't know, is actually the original Infinity Ward development studio. Infinity Ward were the original creators of Call of Duty. Boom! So yeah, anyway. But yeah,
I love how Diego is like, hey man, what do you know about the developers of Apex Legends?
Hey,
Like,
I didn't say
I know
it like
something
that.
you don't know.
No. Hey. The reason why I asked was because I wanted to understand the general consensus of how people see Respawn Entertainment. Just so I know, just so it doesn't seem like I'm just repeating what everyone's thinking. This is just more like, that's like, if you really want to know why like this game is so good, is because think about it, these guys have always made great games. They are the ones who pretty much, wrote the book on modern warfare shooters. I mean, so yeah, like with that said, I mean, we can't expect anything less from we should not expect anything less from Respawn Entertainment. Like, if you guys want to know about the history of Infinity Ward, Call of Duty, everything, I would say to go to Machinima, back to Machinima, and look for their show called All Your Base Are Belong to Us, and their segment on Call of Duty or Infinity Ward. Although I think Machinima, I think they privated or deleted all their video. Yeah,
I heard it deleted.
They're gone.
Yeah, but there are good Samaritans out there who have re-downloaded and reposted their segments. So I really, really recommend that you guys check it out. Look for all your history are belong to us, and look for Call of Duty, that segment. Awesome. It's the best. It was one of the OG history shows on the internet back in the day, and this is like 6 years ago. These are the stuff I watched years ago when I discovered how awesome the internet was. And it has a lot of gaming history there. Yeah. So yeah, so that's just one thing to keep in mind. Yeah.
DZ, you brought up how we shouldn't expect anything less from these guys, and that's a very good point. And Apex Legends, it's a great game, but
yes.
It's kind of a commentary on how EA, the publisher, has been acting. We have been informed in recent memory of how they're focusing all their resources on a specific game that we have also partaken in recently. I'm saying recently a lot because I'm trying to formulate this as well as possible. But DZ, man, we didn't hear anything about this because we really didn't hear anything about this.
Yeah. Well, here, there's no like factual. Okay, here. This is just like based off random articles online. People have asked the devs, why didn't you guys have any marketing for it? So far, what has been said is that from the devs' point of view, it's not. I don't think they've outright said that EA didn't want to market it or EA didn't believe in it. There's no one has said that and no one has proven that. And I think I can see Elgin's head nodding. He agrees with me on that one.
No, that's not what they wanted. No.
Yeah. So far, all that the devs have said is that how they felt that the game should just be played, and the game should just speak for itself. Because I think someone they were mentioning how nowadays when everyone does all these leaks, quote unquote leaks and marketing, everyone starts making reviews about it, bashing it even before the game is released. Everyone's like, oh, this trailer is it's not friendly to the society and whatnot. All these kind of things. So instead they just thought, let's not give people the chance to hate the game. Let the game speak for itself, and let people have fun. That's all. And that I guess they kind of messed up with the whole idea that EA is really not in. I guess they use it to their advantage that EA is not in a good light. So of course, if something came out of the woodworks out of nowhere, of course it would essentially get, a lot of press.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's some of the stuff I've read online. Like you can check an article from GameIndustry.biz. They have a post about that whole thing with the marketing.
Yeah. I think it was a good idea though.
Yeah, it's super interesting. We're crossing kind of untreaded waters because of the awareness that the internet gives us. We like Diego mentioned, we do get internet videos about the smallest things from random YouTubers. We get people saying, all right, I saw this poster about Apex Legends, and it had this character with a gun in his butt. And I swear to God, no way they're launching with this. And they over sensationalize like the smallest details you can find, right? And they do this over and over again. And it's not just one person, it's multiple people, because we live in an age where content is king. And the more views you get, the better, whether or not those views are warranted. We felt that in Overwatch a lot with certain YouTubers that I kind of want to mock right now. Hi everyone, Stylosa. But you know, like,
whoa, dude,
like,
wow,
Stylosa here, everyone. And here we've got in the PT. I'm here in the PTR right now, and I'm noticing that the wheelchair here has disappeared. All right, it doesn't have anything to do with the fact that I turned down my settings. All right.
Okay, whoa.
Like
he's just going for it. He's teeing off. He's teeing off.
I got into it. I'm sorry, I got carried away. I love everyone on the internet. Silosa, like, respect you. You did a lot for the community early on. But you see where I'm getting at is we get every random YouTuber, including us, at some point, kind of like just trying to get content out of the smallest things, and it's ruined some parts of gaming for us. And now you have developers like the devs for Apex who now Respawn who now are saying maybe it's best to not feed the trolls for a bit and just let our game do the talking, which is what happened. And so far, including me and Elgene and Mick and Diego, we're very pleasantly surprised that somehow EA managed to pull this off, even though all the resources, as they said, have been going to Anthem.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
Which is a shame too, honestly.
Yeah. And you know, just to add to what Herald said, let's face it, guys. We have our biases. We have our bias. We have a bias with specific companies. Like, for example, I'm pretty sure all four of us, we're all in agreement. We don't like EA, their business practices. We don't really like them as much as a publisher, right? But here's another thing. You know, if they released this game and the four of us actually covered it here, we'd probably be shitting on it, and we'd be probably saying, "Oh no, it's another Fortnite-esque blackout battle royale game." If they marketed it early, we're just gonna because we have biases, and that's the truth. And I love how they really, you know, they really stepped up and just, you know what? Let's just release the game to the public. Let's see if this is good. And to my surprise, putting practically zero funds in marketing and funneling it all the way to production and microtransactions, of course, because you know EA always has microtransactions. It actually gave birth to such a polished game, a game that is not perfect, but polished enough, and you know, something that people like me can play for 8 to 9 hours straight. That's the truth.
And we haven't done that since, admittedly, Overwatch.
True. That is true. That is true.
For you guys, anyway.
Oh yeah, Elgene, sorry, but
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's because like the max I did with Hearthstone was like 4 or 5 hours. Aside from that, I did not go past that. I'm too salty after 5 hours.
It's so mentally draining, you know.
Yeah, exactly. But the main point is, like, we haven't played a game that was this addicting in a while, and let alone a game from EA, which is the most surprising part. And I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes, because they have they have blindsided us with a golden goose egg, and the ball is in their court. They can either mess this up completely, because at the moment they're still riding on the zero expectations for Apex, or they can blow us out of the water and surprise us and say, you know what, Apex Legends, this is the thing we're gonna push for, and we're gonna give you the best content you've ever seen out of a battle royale. Like, the ball is totally in their court, and I'm super excited to see what's happening.
Yeah.
Yes.
To add to that, if I may, what you said about what they're gonna do, like, some plans I've heard is that, okay, here, you know that no one wants to play Apex. People, like, okay, here, you have a battle royale. Let's say, for the sake of argument, we play Fortnite. Do we want to play Fortnite 2? No. I don't want to play. I mean, something already works why not just stick with the game? It's like here, that was my problem with Black Ops 4. What does this mean that next year when they come up with another COD, are they gonna put another Blackout game there just so just to get that market again? You don't want to keep. You don't want to do. They don't want to. People don't want that, which is what the devs have Respawn have mentioned, that we are just gonna make this game great. They're just gonna continue with this game because they understand that no one wants to play Apex Legends 2. They just want to stick with something that's good now. So I think what you said, Harold. I think we should be very confident that I have a good feeling they're gonna ride this wave, like Johnny Bravo on that episode of Johnny Bravo, when he's like the surfing guy. Sorry, I couldn't think of a reference fast enough. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
They'll be.
How about you, Elgene? What do you think? I mean, you said it yourself. You haven't. Where do you think this is gonna go? Because you haven't been playing much BR before.
Yeah. So, like, my thing about this is, Apex Legends is a testament to, how valuable, talented developers are. And it basically shows that against all odds, that if you actually, use that talent well enough, you can make yourself, you can press yourself into a market that is already saturated and dominate. Now, let's face it, they are, starting to dominate, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That 25 million in a month, to put that into perspective, in a week. To put that into perspective, Fortnite recorded 45 million in 3 months. That was their first milestone.
Wow.
So
in the first quarter.
And I gotta say, the guys at Respawn are geniuses. They're absolutely woke because they understand the power of buzzwords. They knew a game that was marketed as an EA title that was free to play, had loot boxes, and was battle royale. They recognized if they marketed that, no one would buy it because, let's face it, that has red flags written all over it.
Yes.
And that's why they decided, they made the conscious decision to sell it without marketing and just let their work speak for itself. And it absolutely works because Respawn is a phenomenal developer. They, while Jago did say they did write the Bible for Modern Warfare shooters, I honestly feel like Titanfall showed their strengths even further because their level design and among other things is top notch, world-class level design. Like you play their campaign, you play that one mission where you're in a factory where all the moving parts is you can't make that anywhere else. Respawn pretty much has got level design locked down to a T. And they to be honest with you, I feel like King's Canyon is perhaps the most realized battle royale map out of all of them. It allows you so many options in movement, and it allows you so many options to basically play the game that, while it is a very samey concept compared to all the other games out there, it just does it so much better. Let's face it, guys, Apex Legends borrows so many mechanics from other games. You got the sliding mechanics from Ring of Elysium, which admittedly was also in Titanfall, but that's one of the things Ring of Elysium was known for. The Battle Royale genre as a whole, I mean, we've already got our Fortnites, we've already got our PUBGs, we got Blackout and all that good stuff. And yet somehow, 1 week later, 25 million players. That you just can't, you just absolutely can't do that in a vacuum, you know what I mean? It takes a talented developer like Respawn to pull something of this magnitude.
Oh
off.
yeah.
It's incredible, They're geniuses.
I don't know if this is a good example, but I just want to specify. This was what happened with what happened with Paladins, right? You guys remember Paladins? It's still here.
Oh my God, yes.
But remember how Paladins didn't really market themselves, but then as soon as they announced Overwatch, just a month after, they released on open beta. And oh my lord, the people, they just, oh man, I feel bad for them. I really feel, I do feel bad for them.
Didn't they market themselves as an Overwatch clone? Or that's what people were just saying?
People are saying they were an Overwatch clone because the characters are too oddly similar to those characters that were announced, the original Overwatch roster before they added the new ones.
Mm-hmm.
Truth is, you played it, and you actually said that you were the one who said that it's definitely not Overwatch. Okay,
Yeah,
if you guys think it's Overwatch, it's not Overwatch. Stop saying it's Overwatch.
But the characters are.
The characters are though.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I mean, Fernando is not Reinhardt, right? I mean,
yeah. So seeing as how this happened to Paladins, I'm actually very surprised that Apex was received so, had a really warm reception with the community. I am very surprised
because let's be honest. Yeah. When it came to Paladins, when I saw Dead Husband Creator, I was like, okay, there's a little bit of a similarity here. A sniper called Dead Husband Creator. I was like,
oh god. Okay. All right. Yeah.
A little on the nose, guys. A little on the nose.
A little on the nose. Yeah.
Well, I'll give credit to Paladins. It would have been if the game was actually. Oh, here, I'm gonna sound like a jerk. If the game was as polished as Overwatch, it might have stood on its 2 feet. The thing is, it wasn't. It wasn't even similar to Overwatch. If the game was just good, which is what Apex is doing. If the game is good, that's why it's good. That's why everyone loves it. It's good. And Paladins could have been good. Honestly, I saw the potential when I played it, but no, there's nothing there for me to enjoy and to keep up with.
Yeah, and that's a takeaway I hope all developers, publishers I should say, should take from this. It's good games sell, not microtransactions. You know what I mean? And here's the thing that I really like about Apex Legends over all the other free-to-play games. They made a good game first, then they added microtransactions, which is really how it should be, because a lot of games these days are putting microtransactions first, then building the game around it, and that's why it feels so grindy, it feels so manipulative when it says, "Oh my god, this is so bad. I might as well just pay to
need more energy."
That kind of stuff.
Need more energy?
And that's really the hope, my genuine hope. Publishers, please. Good games sell. Make good games. Actually compete instead of just trying to put stuff in your game that will, nickel and dime us. Just actually compete in the market. Do something astounding, Yeah.
Yeah, well said. Well said.
Well, yeah, aside from the development side and the surprise release of Apex Legends, we also got a bit of a surprise tournament last night with Twitch Rivals. DZ, they did a point system, which is something you predicted early on when we mentioned the tournament to you yesterday. How did you find just give me a quick 30-seconder. How did you find the tournament and the whole approach they had?
Well, it was fun to watch people play. It's just sad that I couldn't watch all of it because it was super late at night. Right off the bat, they did 2 brackets, North America and the EU, all right? The prize pool was $50,000 and it's split in half, so $25,000 NA and EU. On the EU side, I believe the team of... Wait, let me just check. It was the team of Less Main. There are a bunch of EU streamers. I don't know their roster specifically, but yeah, they're the ones who won that one. On the North America side, which we are mostly familiar with, that's like Dr. Disrespect, Shroud, Summit 1G, Ninja, Josh OG, etc., etc., etc. All right. So, do you guys know who won, or you want to give a drum roll or anything?
Do you want a drum roll?
Oh yeah, sure. Well, okay, here. Honestly, here. You guys haven't seen it. You guys don't know the results.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
No.
Right. I mean, I've seen it, but I didn't watch all the way to the results. I didn't watch all the way to the end because I was like, that's a bit much.
Okay, so here, who do you guys think won?
You want the drum roll? You want the drum roll?
Yeah. Let's say, let me just give who do you guys think won?
I'd imagine America.
Yeah, Shroud won.
I'd imagine America because freedom reigns.
Yeah. America.
I'm from America, but it's probably
for the North American bracket.
Oh, for the North American bracket?
Shroud won.
Okay, Mick,
Dr. Disrespect.
All right, Dr. D, how about you, Herald?
I'm gonna have to give it to the man with the mustache, 6'7", 2. I forgot what he actually says, but I think Dr. Disrespect. If not Shroud, I think Shroud would dominate though. But Yeah, I just wanted to give that whole Dr. Disrespect spiel, but I think Shroud would have won. I think Shroud would have won.
Okay, when I first watched it, yeah, my vote was on Shroud, but sadly he did not win.
What?
Wow.
Who won?
Okay, here. This is fun. All right. I'm sad to say, guys, but Ninja's team won.
Wow.
But here, based on the commentary of the analysts and how I saw some of the clips, it's not because of Ninja. It's because of some of his teammates who are actually very good with games that have high TTKs. I think he had a guy, someone on his team named
Time to
Dizzy.
kills.
Yeah, though, Dizzy, he used to be a Halo pro before. Well, so was Ninja. But the thing is, the thing is, Ninja and his teammate are good and are familiar with games back in the day with high TTKs. So, and that is.
I'm sorry, what?
That high TTK. Oh, I'm sorry, what?
I'm sorry, what?
I'm sorry, what? What do you say to me?
I know you like your TTK, all right?
Your TTK?
I know you love yourself some TTK, but yeah, like, I mean, we know how salty Ninja can get, and we know every streamer has their flaws, every person has their flaws, but I'm glad that all in all, I'm glad Apex Legends got a tournament like setting this soon.
Yes,
there's interest in it, which is very heartening.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Like,
they should have a league mode soon. Like, I mean, if there's already interest in it like this, they should add like a league mode to the game.
Yeah.
That would be
like,
pretty rad.
Like pulling off though, like something like this, like requires a lot of production value. Because imagine how many streams you have to keep watch of. You have 8 teams, and have 8 teams per division. And I think they literally just get the feed from Twitch and then just reroute it all into one channel.
It's messed up. Like the amount of bandwidth and processor power you need. It's risky too, and especially considering the fact that you might not have everyone in sync.
I think that's why they must have like an entire army of people in the background monitoring each one, because there are rules like you're not allowed, because you want to get as much you have to get as much kills as you can. And imagine you've been in those games where you're the last 2 squads and it takes you forever to find the last squad, right? That's wasting time, right? But the thing is, the faster you kill, the faster you win, the more you can log into the next game and start again, right?
Yep.
So that's why they made the rule that you can't intentionally die or intentionally disconnect to restart again. You have to finish that match without disconnecting. You either win the match.
I'm not a fan of the format. Like, if they can pull off a custom game lobby, even better.
Logistical nightmare, but yes, that would be great.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah, well, it's early days. We're demanding a lot from a game that's only been out for a little over a week with 0 publicity. But that's the world we live in, and that's how good the game is, that we're actually clamoring for stuff like this. So again, good on Apex Legends. I'm really looking forward to seeing what's happening in the near future, outside of their weird season pass thing. Damn it, EA. And just
Fortnite.
Yeah,
it's the same as Fortnite.
I know, but EA is gonna push it further. We know it, but okay. Yeah. Let's move on. One quick bit of news in terms of the Epic Games Store, guys. The Epic Games Store.
Here we go.
Let's tackle this. We have a lot of time tonight so far. We're killing it. We're crushing our allocation of time, and I'm ruining it by talking so long about how we're crushing it. But let's try to.
That's like 30 seconds, sir.
I know, right? I'm really good at this. Professional podcast.
You're really good.
Cool. But I do want to say, since we have a bigger fish to fry, let's try and minimize the impact. Since this is also early days for this bit of news. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see where this progresses as well. But Mick, lead us off on what's happening with Metro 2033.
Oh, sorry, Metro Exodus, not 2033.
Metro Exodus. Okay,
sorry,
so Metro Exodus was basically a game.
This is what happens when you just read. This is what happens when you just read. Metro Exodus.
Metro Exodus is actually the newest installment of the Metro series that it was planned to release on Steam. Here's the thing. the publisher of this game, which is Deep Silver, and I don't know how to pronounce it, Koch Media, but I don't know, Koch Media.
Koch.
Koch, Koch Media, fine. Koch Media decided, okay, fine, you know what? Since it's already on Steam, why don't we just move to a different platform, one that's more favorable? So they decided to move to the Epic Store. And here's the kicker. There were already pre-orders on Steam for Metro Exodus, and they were at $60 a piece. When they moved to Epic, since Epic has the 88-12 share ratio, the publisher decided to drop the price from $60 down to $50 on the Epic Store, since they will make more money on that platform. And, you know, they pull out last minute. Oh my gosh. His pull-out game's strong. That's all I gotta say. Mm-hmm. And to think that
PG show, Mick. PG show.
PG show.
Christ.
To be fair, kids PG. Won't understand that, but okay.
They won't get.
Well, now they will Google it.
Pull out of the gun in the game. All right. So here's the thing. Now there's backlash. There's backlash for this. A lot of Steam users have decided to give negative reviews to past Metro Exodus games, so that they wouldn't be recommended to other people who have like, oh, since you played this game, here's another game that's actually really good. They are trying to boycott everything for 4A games, and it's not even their fault. It's their publisher's fault. So you see Deep Silver and Koch Media are actually learning a thing or two from some people we hate. That's the truth.
I mean, hate is such a strong word, Mick. We don't just throw that word around.
Despise.
There's crimes related to hate. Okay, we don't just throw that word around.
That we don't like or dislike. There we go. How about that? Yeah.
I mean, like, really, you know. Oh, sorry, Mick. Go ahead.
No, I wanted to pass it on to you guys. I want to see your thoughts on this, because honestly, this is a shady business practice, but it's still a legal one. So I can't really like say anything other than shame on you. You should have had morals. You know, all that stuff.
Okay. For me, like, remove the whole thing with having another launcher on your computer. It's not like we already don't have 12, right? Some games, like Escape from Tarkov, you have to download its own launcher before you can play it, right? So that doesn't matter. Let's remove the fact that Epic is so far it's an inferior launcher as compared to Steam. They have a lot of things lacking. Let's take that out of the picture.
A lot.
Everything would have been fine if they had just not pulled out, knowing that there are pre-orders. I think that's what pretty much pissed people off, because Division's on Epic Store, right? The Division 2 is on Epic Store.
Yeah, that's on Epic Store.
Yeah,
and they announced it beforehand.
And like, for me, like, I mean, I like the fact that 4A's, like, there's gonna be an 88-12 split. That fine, more money for the devs. Well, I hope it goes more to the devs and the publisher, but more money to them. That's great. But yeah, I mean, the fact that, I mean, we pre-ordered this from something already, and then you're just gonna, you're gonna debate us like this. Like, no, that's not how it. It's not cool, man. It's not cool.
True.
Yeah. And the developers aren't even making it any better either, because I mean, I know there was this one developer that wasn't happy about this whole thing, and he was like, well, if this is gonna happen again, I guess we're just gonna be exclusive to console from now on. And since then, I mean, Deep Silver has been like, yeah, that guy doesn't represent us. We're not. Don't listen to him. But still, I mean, I can understand there's like a lot of bitterness about this whole thing, especially considering I've already paid for this. Why can't I get it anymore? Why is it on the inferior Epic Store? You know, like it does absolutely suck. You know, and I think the worst part about it is the whole exclusivity deal. You know, like it's just. Oh man, it's really pain. It's just really painful. Altogether, you know what I mean?
I mean, like, I understand console exclusives fine, is because you have to buy a console, like you buy an Xbox.
You have to go on their network and then all that stuff.
But like to make something exclusive for a platform that's essentially, not saying PCs are free, but launchers are free. It's like
it's more open. It's like an open market, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah, like come on.
Yeah, it sucks. It absolutely sucks.
Yeah, I think the good thing here is that they did announce that they were going to honor all the pre-orders that were made on Steam. I don't know if they're going to move that to the Epic Store. Like, oh, here's the product key that you bought from Steam. Now put that in the Epic Store, key redemption thingy, or the key code redeem key feature, and you'll get the game there. That's the thing. They still pay $10 more for a game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the price difference, right?
The price difference. I think that if they kept it the same, they will get backlash. If they drop the price, they will also get backlash. So they're in a lose-lose situation to begin with.
I mean, it's worse backlash.
Yeah. They really, and the developer saying that, oh, if you guys keep giving us negative reviews on Metro 2033, we'll just become a console exclusive. The one that Elgene said, that does not make it any better.
Yes.
Okay. Then again,
James in the chat says it's not bitterness; it's just being upset for something that you just paid for, and now you won't get it. And that sort of addresses the issue of you still would get it if you want to, but the fact that you ended up paying more, not really the best situation for you, especially like you paid more for something that costs less somewhere else. Like it's rough on everyone's end. Like I get Shaggy's point as well, because like the initial shock as well is something that you can't wave away. The fact that you already paid for it, and then you're like, what? Wait, am I not getting it? Okay, I'm getting it, but I got it for $10 more. Like there's a lot of psychological trauma that happens there, and it's rough. No. It's rough.
Yeah, and it's all just because 4A and Deep Silver decided they wanted to make it exclusive to the Epic Store for a year
and make more money.
I mean,
make more money.
Like they think like that's the thing they think they're going to be doing, but I can't say for sure. I mean, we all know. Like, let me just go back to what I said about Apex Legends. You get a good product, it will sell. Steam is a good product, Epic not so much, and that's why, and that's part of the reason why everyone is so. Another reason why people are so bitter about it is because. Essentially, Epic is holding Metro Exodus hostage, in a sense. Well, you're not going to be able to get it anywhere else. You might as well come to our brand, which is inferior. It's kind of like how when Infinite Warfare came out, the only way to get it, Modern Warfare Remastered was to buy the special edition of Infinite Warfare.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, nobody wanted Infinite Warfare. They wanted Modern Warfare Remastered, but if you wanted to get that, you have to get Infinite Warfare. It sucks,
you can't. It's sad. It's sad to see that people are, that there are companies that are just willing to, for the sake of money, willing to do this. I mean, it's a shady business practice. Even if it's a shady business practice, it's still business at the end of the day. They are still doing what's best, what they feel is best for them. And this has happened in every industry in the world. That people are this shady. They might just go, we're having second thoughts on the platform we chose. Maybe we'll go with this one instead. Sorry, thank you. See you on our future endeavors and all that stuff. So that's
thank you, come again.
Thank you, come again, or something like that. And
I mean,
go continue.
I mean, honestly, this would have been totally avoided if they never actually sold on Steam in the first place. I mean, if you think about it, if they just went straight to Epic Store,
it would have been fine.
Would have been fine, right? And at a price point of $50 too, I mean, everyone would be like, okay, I guess. But they wouldn't be outraged,
I'll download this. I'll save $10 by downloading this. How many kilobit? A launcher, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'll just end with this from my end. I think from the business standpoint, me and my brother were talking about it. I'm not saying this is true, but think about it. There is here. You know how Epic is primarily their user base,
9-year-olds.
The younger crowd, right? The younger crowd who are playing Fortnite. Okay, but there's a bunch of them. There's a lot of them. These kids will grow older. And when they figure out that there are more games than Fortnite, Metro's
better
there.
games than Fortnite. No offense.
Better games than Fortnite. Yeah, the games are there. Yeah. That's why I think that's why, and I think they know maybe they want to get that market. They want to get that new market because they know that people who love Metro will download a freaking launcher just for that. Heck,
Exactly.
Why do Division went to Epic? Do you think they care about
Division went to Epic.
Steam?
Whoa.
For me, it's like Steam. It's like a never-ending hole of I don't know what games are there. There's just a lot.
There's just too much. There's too much games.
But I think I don't know. Don't quote me this, but maybe Ubisoft wanted to put their game on Epic because, they're banking on their crowd, the people who love Division to play it and download it. And with that said, they'll still get that 80-80, 88-12 split.
Yeah.
So from a business, I see it. It's just how they did it was horrible.
But just to give you insight on the Division 2, did you know that if you buy it from the Uplay store, if you have the reward points, you get 20% off?
Oh, really?
There's a 20% off code, and I already have it. Because I have enough. That's the thing.
Got it on Uplay, right?
I got it on Uplay because I've been playing a lot of Uplay games because I do buy Uplay, and that's fine because it's also a platform. It's also their platform.
And
their
it's not
specific
exclusive.
Platform. It's not exclusive, right? So that's fine. But seeing as how Epic is trying to tear a page out of the Xbox and the console Bible of business, where you have to pay for exclusivity, to get a better share or get more money out of it. I guess maybe that's their way of building a bigger, reaching out to more demographics or more people or people who like that specific genre, right? Maybe it's
I don't like it.
Don't like it as well. No.
Yeah. As much
yeah. Continue.
I was gonna say, as much as exclusivity does suck as a concept, I hate to say it, but it's actually one of the few ways companies can stay competitive. If you think about it, you know what I mean?
That is true.
Are you thinking I'm not getting this? I won't get a spotlight if I'm competing with all these other giants. If I'm exclusive to one, I have a better chance of being seen. Is that what you're saying?
There's that. And as far as Epic is concerned, the only reason why you'd want to buy PlayStation right now is Bloodborne, God of War, and Spider-Man. Those are the exclusives to PlayStation. Oh well, no, it's on
console
Xbox.
exclusive. Sorry, console exclusive. My bad.
So that's what I'm trying to say, and I think that's what Epic is trying to do essentially, is to basically give themselves a fighting chance to stand up to a juggernaut like Steam to get that exclusivity deal. But again, the way it was handled, basically what they did was they stole. It feels like they stole Metro Exodus from Steam, which that doesn't make it exclusive. That you kidnapped them. There's a huge difference there.
They pretty much destroyed the whole idea of having that, doing that.
Yeah.
There's no what happens if another game from Steam goes into Epic? Are they gonna receive hate, the same kind of hate as well? So it was a bad move. It's not the drama that was needed for that kind of practice.
Right.
Which is inherently bad.
Yeah. I can understand the gamble of trying out Epic. I mean, it's cheaper, or rather, you're expecting revenue. It's a new product. It's the Wild West as far as we're concerned. But you've already threw your lot in with Steam. You already threw in your lot with Steam, so that's what's causing all the problems here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's telenovela drama in video games. All right. Shaggy in the chat says, I think people forget that a lot of games were made on a PC. Yeah, consoles make a good amount of money because they sell it for a middle price range. So why wouldn't you go with a console, right? That's a different animal as well. You're thinking about how something that's potentially marketed to more people affects I guess the market itself. So there's a lot to this, and like we said earlier with Apex Legends, and I think we'll say in our topic later on, I'm interested to see how this develops, because the shockwaves for the industry will be made. This has implications for the industry as a whole, which is pretty much something you could say for all our topics for this episode specifically. How Apex Legends can shake up the industry with, okay, this had zero marketing and it launched out of nowhere and it's doing well. That's if you told someone we don't need to market our game, but when it releases, people will see it and play it. Some people would consider you nuts, you know, and some people would really not buy into what you're saying. So there's that with Apex Legends, with Metro Exodus. There's this telenovela drama that we just said, where you commit to someone, then you pull out, and then you commit, and then you decide to throw your lot in with the next hot thing that walks by. Like we're writing it now. Mick said it, so we're writing it now.
We're writing. We're with it. We're with it.
We're with it. But you know what I'm saying? Tweet. No, but you get what I mean. Like now.
Can we put on the mature sign?
We have a lot of ground that's never been tread and is being tread. At least never been tread this publicly. And guys like us actually have a front row seat at it. And I really am looking forward to seeing how 3, 4, 5 a year from now, 5 months to a year from now down the line, where we're like, hey, remember when we talked about Metro Exodus? There's a new development. You know, like I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes with Epic and because everyone has their own launcher now. You know, we've said that over and over again. EA has Origin. Ubisoft had Uplay for a while.
They still have Ubi. They still have Uplay.
Yeah, I was gonna say they still do.
No. They actually, development by the way about Uplay. Uplay now accepts SGD and USD, because before, if we were in the Philippines, you would be marked for euros.
Yeah.
You had to purchase it in euros. Now you can purchase it in SGD. Singaporean dollar.
My joke not flying aside. Like everyone and their grandma has a launcher now, and it's getting cluttered, and it's like cable services and internet TV privileges like Amazon Prime and Netflix. It's just getting crowded. It's getting crowded.
Yes.
And there's a lot of stuff that's happening right now. Okay, DZ needs to go to the bathroom real quick, so we're gonna...
Why'd you have to tell everyone?
Why'd you have to go? He has to attend to something.
Honestly, I didn't think that's what he meant because I'm not reading our chat. And the fact that is what happened just proves how well we know DZ and his habits during the show.
His habits. He has done that before. Like probably the most probable one that Herald knows about me is that I mute half the time so I could hit a vape or something.
Just hit that vape. Just hit that.
I mean, while I understand that you didn't exactly see the chat, why would you still say someone has to piss? Like seriously.
I didn't say that specifically.
Someone.
I mean,
not
go to the bathroom
person.
Regardless. I mean, like for all we know, he's gonna
take a number one.
I number one.
Number one. Right. Okay, he's done.
Well, it's time, guys. Let me lower the music real quick.
This
for those
crazy.
who can hear the bed music. It's time for the Blizz Corner.
Oh, let's break it down. Epic!
I'm ready to start a blizzard.
All right. Well, that last part is a little weird right now because some people can no longer start blizzards. Blizzard earnings call, ladies and gentlemen. This is a topic that we want to talk about today. It's a topic that's on a lot of people's minds. But you know what? To start things on a lighter note, XQC to the LA Gladiators Legion as sub-main tank, biggest memer on Twitch for Overwatch, is now signed with the Los Angeles Gladiators. All right, now to the serious news. Now to the serious news. Podcast.
now that we're done. All right. Let's club a seal. All right, let's go.
All right, let's go. Are we doing this? Yes, Show Fox. We are doing this.
Serious note, let's go.
It's easy. Like I told ElderDjinn, it's easier to ask for forgiveness from our Blizzard overlords than it is to ask for permission. So we're going under the radar here. We're going under the radar, and we're doing it behind their backs. Let's talk about the earnings call, the Blizzard Q1 earnings call. Is it the Q4 earnings call for 20?
I think it's Q4.
Q4 2018 earnings call. We heard voices from Jonathan Allen Brack. No, it's literally just J. Allen Brack. Jay, like Homer J. Simpson. We heard J. Allen Brack's voice. We heard CEO of Activision Blizzard. I'm googling his name's voice right now.
Bobby Kotick.
Bobby Kotick.
Yes.
Robbie
Robert
and
Robert A.
Cody
Kotick.
Johnson or Cody. I don't know what his name is.
Damn it, Bobby.
Cody.
All right,
Cody.
so we heard voices from all over the world in terms of Activision Blizzard, and their campuses spread across America. So let's cut to the chase. Biggest piece of news was Activision Blizzard. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the Blizzard side more specifically, right? Have laid off over.
I believe so.
Have laid off over 800 employees in their U.S. base alone. This is 8% of their employees in their U.S. offices alone have been laid off, and they had to. There were leaks. We talked about leaks earlier on. There were leaks for this last week, which we read and heard about, and that was probably part of the roughest part. People were uneasy coming into this, and then they had to hear about it in an earnings call, and then earlier, probably 12 hours ago or 24 hours ago, they heard that, a bunch of them heard that they were getting fired, and to make it so that we don't over sensationalize before we get to the meat of the topic, yes, this is mostly from the non-game development side of Blizzard, specifically Activision Blizzard, specifically Blizzard, and this is more of what we've been hearing about in the recent months. They're laying off a lot of people for esports. They're laying a lot of support teams and members of those teams. And I have a lot of comparisons to this later on, but initial reaction was, of course, very negative. Internet reaction, fans, lovers of Blizzard in the past who have had a lot of ammo recently to start doubting our overlords have spoken out. And I know podcasts like Lagging Balls, Thist, who we had as a guest on DZ a couple of weeks back, they didn't have a podcast this week in honor of all the people who got laid off from Blizzard. You see a lot of people on Twitter stating that, looking for work. A lot of people were affected by this. We're talking over 800 people were affected by this. And, some of these people might have moved all the way to Irvine, California just to start their dream job. Their dream job of working at Blizzard. And it's a cutthroat industry. Video games, for all the love it gets and for all the negativity it also gets in equal parts, it's still an industry, it's still related to a business, and in the end, decisions like this will be made. I mentioned earlier on that, yes, it was mainly the non-development side, and that's because they're looking to increase their hiring for the development side of their video games by 20% on aggregate. So all their major franchises are getting a 20% bump across, not across the board, but on average for the entire Activision Blizzard perspective, they're increasing the developers by 20%. Whether World of Warcraft gets 1% and then Overwatch gets 19%, you see where I'm getting at. In the end, it's going to be 20% overall. And I want to say all this off the bat because when you hear that 8% of Blizzard staff gets laid off, you're going to react impulsively and say, oh my God, this is the end of Blizzard. But they do sort of talk about how, there's restructuring going on. And then you begin to listen further on in the earnings call, and they say, we're giving one of the corporate seats. We're giving, I think it was the head of marketing? No, it was the head of accounting. The CFO.
The CFO.
The bean counter, the man who handles the money. He gets a 15%, or is it a $15 million bonus?
It was a signing bonus. Like, the guy didn't even work yet. They just gave it to him for signing up.
And there's been backlash about that because there are a lot of people on the internet who, like us, are armchair quarterbacks that are saying, I'm sure you could have found a top-tier CFO who would have taken the job without a $15 million signing bonus.
Yeah.
And, you know, aside from that, certain investors, if I'm not mistaken, are getting percentage bumps in their stocks. There's a lot of money involved in this, and it's interesting. And I'm saying this all off the bat because I want our discussion on this to not be light-handed. You know, I want us to tackle this topic because people's lives have been affected by this. Over 800 to be more precise. And
Right.
we make jokes here on GameByte. We love having laughs, but at the same time, this is no small matter, especially considering the fact that Blizzard is a company that we've all grown up with. Blizzard is a company that for a long time has been considered nearly untouchable. You know, they because of the fact that they've gained the trust of their fans and the public by continually giving us quality products for a lot of people would say the right value of money. You know, it's never felt scummy up until recently. So now I throw it to you guys, and I want to get your initial reactions first on the layoffs. Let's start with that. I don't know who wants to take this, but it's a big deal. So
I
guys.
mean, yeah, I can start. So you mentioned it a little bit earlier when you were talking about it, but this isn't something that just came out of nowhere. They've already planned this for a while now. You know, with the way they're handling their esports and all that good stuff. Like when the esports scene just disappeared for Heroes of the Storm, for example. I mean that was a little bit out of the blue, but from then on, everybody pretty much knew that Blizzard can and will, you know, lay people off should the business require it. You know what I mean? And there was a lot of planning already going around the company that people were understandably fearful about. You know, and the other thing that that probably may have caused a lot of these layoffs is 2018 wasn't exactly a great year for Blizzard. Overwatch is still a good game and all that. It's still pulling in some players, but it's nowhere near as good as it used to be. Battle for Azeroth has been touted as one of the. I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, Herald, but like as far as the general consensus is, Battle for Azeroth has been touted as one of the first expansions to World of Warcraft. And on top of that, there hasn't. Oh, and then of course there's the Diablo Immortal debacle that pretty much everybody has phones. Oh, sorry. Yeah, everybody has phones, right?
Yeah. So, don't you guys have phones?
In other words, Blizzard had a terrible year, and this is one of the ways they're trying to make up for that terrible year. They're cutting costs so that their profit margins stay up, you know. And while they are cutting like what is essentially non-essential employees, well, I'm reasonably sure they're essential in their role originally, but right now the business doesn't need them as they've pretty much abandoned a lot. Well, not abandoned, but diminished a lot of the stuff they, for like especially for marketing. I mean, they haven't really had anything new come out. Like they haven't had any new intellectual IP that would require a marketing team of that scale, for example. Or for the esports, well, yeah, we all know what happened to Heroes of the Storm, you know. So besides Warcraft Reforged, there's nothing new coming from Blizzard, and it makes sense in a vacuum. But a heavy-handed layoff scheme like that just cost 800 people their jobs, and yeah, of course, people will be understandably outraged by that. It's a result of a business. But we don't let businesses just get away with stuff like that. They could have. I'm sure they, you know, they've given them severance packages in some capacity.
That was actually one of the big points from J. Allen Brack was, yes, we are giving severance packages to people that are supposedly generous. And I don't mean to cut in too much, Elgene. There were reports earlier on in the year and late last year where people were offered severance packages for just leaving, you know, like it wasn't like a forced resignation, but it was more of, hey, if you want to leave the company, we can give you a severance package right now, which was very odd.
Wow.
But turns out it was all sort of leading up to this. That, plus recent reports, recent because all of this has been within the past 24 hours, recent reports of we weren't offered severance packages from certain divisions. Yeah. So it's interesting that that's happening. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but yeah.
No. And that's fine. And you confirmed what I was thinking. Okay, so they have severance packages, which is good. I mean, they always should have severance packages.
And job assistance.
And of course, that's all part of the severance package, right?
All part of it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, from a business standpoint, it makes sense. But again, these are 800 people that are losing their jobs. And I really hope that, these employees actually find a place to go.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, I think Bungie's hiring, and I think they need marketing as far as they're concerned. So I want to hit those guys
Problem solved. I'm kidding.
But yeah, that's me. If anyone else wants to take it,
I actually want to chime in.
Go ahead, Mick.
To be honest, I just want to say that based on the articles that I've read, apparently Activision Blizzard is actually making money because the thing is, when you have when your earnings call increases by 9%, that means that the company was profitable. And the CEO of Activision Blizzard, Bobby Kotick, actually mentioned that they did make record results in 2018.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. They also realized that they could make more money if they cut off loose ends, specific roles that were just doubling up.
Yeah.
So they're tightening up. What they're doing right now is the restructure is just for them to cut loose ends. It's like how when you get a haircut and you the barber normally cuts to make sure that all of them are in a straight line or in like a zigzag fashion to make like a layering kind of effect. I think that's what they're doing here. And it's really unfortunate that, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. Mm-hmm. But this has happened to any other large multinational corporation in the world. It's happened before, and it's still gonna happen in the future. It's just unfortunate that it has to be with our overlords. That our overlords are the ones who are going to do this right now. And I really do feel bad for them. I do hope that, they do find jobs. I heard that, Second Dinner is also looking for people. So that's also a possibility. So that's pretty great. You get to work with your bosses are ex-Blizzard workers, are really good, right?
Yeah.
So that's
so
that's good though. That's one of the good things I could say.
I do want to add to what Mick is saying, and I feel like this is where a lot of the ire is coming from. A lot of people are perceiving that this layoff scheme is unnecessary because they could have afforded to keep these people.
Yeah.
It's just they didn't just want to make money. People feel like they didn't just want to make money. They wanted to make all of the money. Mm-hmm. And that seems to be one of the biggest issues AAA gaming has to deal with is that the whole stockholder thing. They have to outdo themselves every year, even to the point where it's impossible. There's only so many people who can pick up a video game around the world these days, Mm-hmm. And they've reached that point where everybody has bought everything and they have to figure out how to earn more for the stockholders.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
It's a shame.
I think one of the big things that I remember from that call was Call of Duty made a lot of money. But for some reason it still didn't live up to their potential as the potential according indeed. To what they were saying. I mean, it's absurd. The kind of money that Call of Duty made was absurd to most people, but it still wasn't enough for the company, which raises a lot of questions as to what their priorities truly are.
And where is enough?
Where is enough? Exactly.
There is no enough. The problem, But anyway, yeah.
DZ, man, you have any thoughts on this? Because I have a big question for everyone.
Well, yeah, I feel bad that people are getting laid off. I wish that doesn't happen to anyone because everyone needs a job, everyone needs an income and all that stuff. I don't know what happens in between the lines of a business for that. I can't say if a layoff is good or a layoff is bad. Sometimes it's needed. I've heard stories where sometimes it just has to happen because of whatever reason.
Mhm.
So yeah, like I don't want to say if it's a good thing that I don't want to say that if it was Activision Blizzard. I don't want to say if the decision was right to lay off people. I'm just really like I just feel for those people who got laid off. Like, but I'm sure if you guys have worked with Blizzard, and any company would be happy to hire you because you've worked with one of the best developers in the world. So
It's true.
I truly believe, and I'm glad at least they're getting severance. They're getting some support, and not just completely getting laid off and that's it. No, they're getting support. That's what's great. I'm glad, and like I'm sure that these 800 individuals will find a company that is willing to hire them, because I'm sure they recognize the work that they've gone through. But yeah, that's all I have to say. How about you, Harold? What did you want to say?
No, so here's my thing is
Mm-hmm.
I thought of this comparison earlier on while I was driving home, and it speaks to what Elgene said, where they're laying off people who they kind of see as maybe inessential. Mick mentioned doubling up, or as some would say, redundancies, which is why they fired one of their longest standing employees in the sound department, the music department. Their guru of music, and because he in turn was so efficient with his job that he became redundant. He made so many teams under him that did the job so well that they didn't need him, so he was removed. And again, that happens in the bigger a company gets. These things happen, and some of us might not truly grasp what type of decisions higher ups have to make, because we've never been in that position before. We've never had to answer to billionaires and millionaires and people who have invested so much money in your company that it actually could be quite terrifying to piss them off. You know what I'm
True.
saying?
Absolutely.
Sell your stock.
Yeah, right. So these people are in positions that maybe one day we'll have the chance to see, hopefully in a less threatening light. But at the same time, when you look at it from an anecdotal point of view, it's kind of like playing Moneyball. For those of you who don't get that analogy, it's kind of like doing everything textbook, doing everything by a book that says if you do this, this, and this, you get more of this, or you follow these instructions, you get a really nice cake, instead of doing everything by eye and baking with your heart, and coming out with a good result, making a cake that you had no idea was actually going to be this tasty, but you did it so many times and you did it with all the ingredients you thought would come naturally to your cake that it ended up tasting beautifully. And my analogy for that is because I've seen how Blizzard has developed and how they've grown. I've seen a lot of their documentaries of how they started with 3 guys, and then they grew their team, and no one knew how successful they'd be. And that's why I kind of thought of this analogy where, okay, they did everything by heart before. They did everything by sight, and they ended up making a company that was so successful. It brings you back to my previous point where a lot of people revered them and thought of them as untouchable. And now that the money is coming into play and other factors are coming in with pressure, now it's not starting to taste like the cake we expected to come every time we baked it. And it's a little strange because, like we've said over and over again on this podcast, it's uncharted territory. We've never had a company so near and dear to our hearts like this get affected by a merger that they made with a company that, well, it's been around. They've made a couple of good titles.
They've been there.
Yeah, and it results in a quite massive layoff. And it's only just begun. These layoffs are just for the U.S. office, and they mentioned in that earnings call that, our international offices are also undergoing review, which makes it kind of scary to be working at a foreign Blizzard office. So, I mean, like, does that synonym or does that metaphor kind of make sense to you guys? Where, like they're starting to do things by the numbers and not with their heart. And because a lot of these support staff, a lot of the publishing staff and the esports staff might not seem essential by the numbers, but they could be seen as part of the heart and soul of Blizzard. They could be affecting the guy next to them, who they could be bringing a positive energy that would unwittingly echo through the entire offices. Like, I just wanted to put that out there, because that was kind of going through my mind.
It made sense. I can go first if you guys like.
Yeah. Go.
Okay, so your analogy is actually pretty good. Okay, that's actually very, very good, and I actually agree with you about somewhat 80%, because the 20% is we have to realize that even if they are the heart and soul of like the floor of where people work, or like in the where they work and everything.
Mike Moore hype.
Sorry, Mike Moore. We have to remember that they've already done it. I mean, they can't do anything. They can't go to their original business practices where they're like, okay, we need a community manager, and that community manager needs a sub-community manager for this specific area, and then for this specific region, and then for that specific region. They are gonna lose money, man. They're gonna lose money in the long run, because now what they're trying to do is, I don't think that they're gonna take out all of the community managers. Let's be honest here. It's like from my example, they're just gonna take out the sub-community managers for a specific area, like what Twitch did a few months back.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's nothing wrong. It's a business decision. I feel we can't do anything but feel bad about these people that are losing their jobs, but at the same time, we have to respect the company for their business decisions, because it's not just their money anymore. It's other people's money that are there as well. So
shareholders.
It can't be just the shareholders. That's the problem with a lot of companies. It's like the WWE network when the WWE, when they actually went public, and they have to appease their investors. When they made the WWE network, their stock price rose, and then when they showed their buys for the monthly or like the resubs, their price dropped because it wasn't so good. See, that's the effect of going public. Yeah. And as much as they're like, oh, I have this much money, why don't I just buy all the stocks back? Then you're gonna run out of reserves in the bank. So they're already in that situation where they're like, I guess we have to do this for the sake of profitability, because the shareholders, I'm not saying that all shareholders are heartless. All the shareholders of Activision Blizzard are heartless, but some of them, they really look at raw numbers, and they're gonna look at current events, raw numbers, and maybe like certain events and how the event turnout was. Like if BlizzCon was such a great thing, they're not gonna see like what the reactions of people were. No, they're gonna check how many ticket buys were there day 1 and day 2, and for both days. They're gonna check how much purchased the virtual access, how much purchased the merch. That's how you determine everything. It's just sad that now it's at a bigger scale, because now a lot of people are gonna get run over by the profitability train. I hate it so much.
And Mick, I feel like Mick is absolute. Activision Blizzard has become so big to the point unsustainable. It's starting to become unsustainable. So they have to cut costs in some, and it's incredibly unfortunate in the wake of Activision. So money.
Oh, you're cutting in and out.
So yeah, you're cutting in and out.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a company that's so big that it's having trouble sustaining itself, and yet they're making all of the money. This just doesn't add up in so many ways, especially like what Herald said earlier, in the wake of giving someone $18 million signing bonus. It just doesn't make sense. They're making all this money, but they have to cut costs. They're giving away money to these executives because this is supposed to be a company that's so big it's so hard to sustain, and they gave money away to an executive just for signing up. It does not make sense. Somebody is making all of this money, and it's definitely not those. It's definitely not those people.
Not those people. Yeah.
Who worked hard in that company to get this company to where it's today. That's that's where all that outrage is coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's the people who hardest are the ones who are getting the most affected. And the ones on top just get $15 million for just saying yes. It's absurd, you know? It's really absurd.
It does sting because, you mentioned that the people who work the hardest, maybe some of them work 70, 80 hours a week to make sure the product launches in time, aren't getting rewarded, or at best they stay at the company. At worst they got laid off. So like it's a bit rough. And DZ, I know you're reading Shaggy's comment like I have as well. I know you want to bring it up, so go for it.
Oh, you could do it.
Okay, so Shaggy's in the chat says, I have to say I do get it. I have a business degree, and if their books are in the red, or if they didn't hit their year earnings, then they will have to let some people go so they can make that money back in some form. It's like if I were to say that on one hand there are 30 podcasts and we have to cut around 10 to keep the 20, and I kind of get that. I don't have a business degree. I wish I did, but I get where you're coming from. I get the money aspect to it, which is partially what makes this so hard. Because, like Elgene was mentioning just now, it's hard to see it rationally because they gave all that money to one CFO when 800 people are losing their jobs. We know that it's part of business and that's how things work, and it's rough that that's how things work. Because, man, I'm pretty sure out of those 800 people, you're going to find a lot of those people not really slacking off. A lot of those 800 are probably working their butts off day in, day out.
Every single day.
Yeah.
Every single day. I just have, here's just not really a theory, but really rather, just a little bit of suspicion here. Okay, so here's the thing with that signing.
Sorry, are we going tinfoil hat? Are we going speculation? I like this.
Just a little bit of speculation. Trying to connect the dots. Because you could see a pattern. There is a pattern. Okay, so here's the thing. Let me break it down. They get a new CFO. Am I correct? And the CFO got a $50 million signing bonus. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so in business, a lot of people do that. It's called pirating. You're trying to pirate really good executives from existing companies to move on to you, and in order for you to do that, you gotta give them a sweet dough. So that's truth. I mean, I have a friend who used to do that for a living here in Manila
as a headhunter.
And I've heard as a headhunter, exactly.
Yeah.
And I hear the ridiculous amounts that these companies are offering to get these specific people. Now, since they signed the new CFO, what is his name again? I'm sorry. Wait, let me Google.
I don't know who the CFO is.
Blizzard
Newman. Newman. There it is.
Sorry.
Spencer Newman.
Spencer Newman. So I don't know what this guy's background is, but here's the thing. This guy probably figured out that if you cut these specific job positions in these specific areas of the game studio and of the company as a whole, you would increase your revenue per quarter by an astounding amount. Maybe. And it gives way. It actually will be able to fund the 20% increase in their existing IPs. Sorry, the 20% increase in employment in their existing IPs, while at the same time still making more money than they did right now with all of them there. So maybe that's the reason why they paid the $50 million for this guy. That's probably the reason.
Maybe. Again, this is all speculation for those who are just.
This is all speculation. I'm not saying that I'm correct or I'm like, oh, I'm so good. I'm Sherlock Holmes.
But it's interesting.
Right.
It's an interesting thought.
Yeah.
It's an interesting
thought. I'm sure the guy has an impressive resume. They put over that gave them the confident decision to hire him. give him that signing bonus. But again, it just plays into the whole, if you are so big that you can't sustain yourself, why are you doing this?
Why are you doing this? Exactly.
Yeah, why are you doing this? You know, like, why do you still have the Overwatch League? You're still too, you know, if it's not making you as much money as, or, you know what I mean? Like, they have so many things that so much money.
Because they built a stadium.
And, you know, like they built, for whatever.
Well, they didn't build
what have you?
Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying here, though. They're doing things.
Exactly.
They're doing things that make absolutely no sense, despite the fact that their company is apparently, they're making all the money. They're still laying off people.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, poaching. Exactly, poaching.
Yeah, which leads us to our next point, where they continue on in the earnings call, and they talk about focusing on existing Oh, we lost someone.
Oh, Mick's gone.
Oh, no. Mick pressed the button.
He's back.
Okay, there. Yeah, so they mentioned that they're focusing on their bigger, proven franchises. So they talked about Call of Duty. They talked about Warcraft specifically, Overwatch, Hearthstone, with Overwatch and Hearthstone specifically with the microtransactions, or as they called it, in-game purchases. They talked about Candy. They referred to it as Candy, which we would know as Candy Crush and their developer King. So they mentioned focusing on these big properties and hiring more developers for the sustainability of these games, because as we know with specifically Blizzard, they don't do it by volume, unlike other companies. You know, they don't make a game a year like Ubisoft does of the same franchise in order to keep it relevant. What they do is they support a game long term. They launch it like Warcraft, or supposedly like they would have with Diablo 3, even though they gave up after Reaper of Souls. And they try and sustain it for as long as possible. And apparently, mute your mic when you do. No, but yeah, apparently that's what these developers are coming in for. The 20% increase in developers. That's what they're coming in for, is to make sure this actually happens. And I think if we didn't hear about the layoffs, we'd be rejoicing, which is the awkward thing, right? Like, if we heard about the increase first, maybe, or if we didn't just hear about the layoffs to begin with, it'd be a good deal, because the main concern right now, like Elgene pointed out earlier, was that their IPs are getting stale. Overwatch has become stale because we're not getting new game modes. Basketball only gets you so far until you introduce a three-point line. Like the games will become stale, and Warcraft is barely keeping its millions of subscribers because they are pumping out content regularly. They're doing their best to listen to the community, but at the same time, it's a long haul for that game. It's been over a decade, and it's a miracle it's keeping millions of subscribers. So now, when you hear that they're trying to bring in developers to get things going, maybe continue, like, they might have a ton of plans for all their major franchises, and now they're probably getting the right help to get it going. For me personally, this would have been good news if I didn't hear that it had to come at the expense of all their other employees and the lives of those people, because you can't. It's hard to like, being a human being. It's hard to separate yourself from the emotional factor and you know, in the society that we live in, we're very aware that people have their lives tied to their jobs, and getting laid off is rough.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So like, now they're saying they're focusing on their bigger properties, talking about they specifically mentioned they're moving forward with plans, Diego, on a Call of Duty league similar to the Overwatch league. They're talking about a city-based franchise league.
Ooh.
That was specifically stated in the earnings call, which surprised me because I didn't see Call of Duty lasting that much longer in terms of the current iteration that we have, Call of Duty Black Ops 4. I mean, unless they're saying we're gonna build one with the next Call of Duty and try and make it, that's gonna be weird as well, because they're gonna say either we're trying to keep Call of Duty 4 relevant, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 relevant, or we're gonna come out with a new one and build an esport around that. It's really weird.
That would be better.
I have no clue what they're thinking here. Aside from that, they're saying they're looking to focus on extending the reach and increase monetization with in-game purchases of Candy Crush and King, because Candy Crush, as weird as it is for us who play games that have way more, how do I put this? Way more development included in them. So, like, match 3s are popular, yes. But, you know, match 3s are also easy to pick up, and everyone can play them. That's why they're so lucrative, and that's why they have 300 plus million active users. It's weird. And that's why they're looking to do this. They also emphasize Diablo. They re-emphasize the fact that Diablo, as a franchise, will have multiple properties releasing within that franchise soon. They're telling their investors this because they're saying, look, we have money coming in, and 2019, they specifically said 2019 is a transition year for us. I'm finding myself talking like a sports analyst because this is uncharted territory for me.
Transition year.
This is weird. They're refocusing this year, 2019. They're saying 2020 and onwards, we're looking at regular content releases for all the franchises. I don't know what's going on, guys.
Honestly, if it's with the Blizzard titles, fine. But if it's the Activision titles, oh my god, that's ridiculous. A COD League?
Yes.
It would be fine if it would be fine, sure, if you didn't release a Call of Duty game every other year.
I was going to say, yeah.
True.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
True. Yeah. So what does that mean? What does that mean? If they go with Call of Duty 4, which is a mess, a COD 4 League, okay. So what does that mean? They're gonna have to all the pros in that league are gonna have to shift to a different game for the 5th one
every single year.
But the thing is, like, what are they just?
Oh,
I
so
guess like,
I can answer that. I can answer that.
Madden.
Yeah, I can sort of answer that. Sort of, because they did mention that they're looking in the Call of Duty perspective specifically. They're saying, they said this. They're looking to bring the teams together for a more linear, unified vision for the future. That's not word for word, but that is the main gist of it. So I wanted to bring this up because that's weird, right? Because we know Call of Duty as kind of like DZ said, Madden and FIFA, where they come out with Black Ops 4 this year and Modern Warfare 17 that year, and it's gotten to that yearly point, kind of like Assassin's Creed. If they mention that, it's no small deal because this is the earnings call. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's no small deal. They're planning something, and it could be on surface when you look at it. It could be that, okay, are they thinking that Call of Duty is gonna be kind of like a long-term game like Blizzard does, and they're gonna come out with Call of Duty
maybe
X, and then that's what they're supporting for a long time? It's all
They
weird.
should actually just call it. They should actually just call it Call of Duty X and stop for after 5 years. Yeah, you know, here, like, that's okay. If they okay, you know, fine. If let's say they make a freaking good COD game, then okay.
Call of Duty Eternal Warfare. Eternal Warfare Omega.
Call of Duty Ultimate.
Call of Duty
Ultimate Eternal Warfare.
Ultimate Eternal Warfare Omega.
Remix.
Coming to you, quarter 3,
Which is like,
2019.
you know, if you think about it, it's not a bad idea because, okay, you have games like CSGO, like a beloved franchise that is so good that it's still being played till today, until Apex came out. But yeah,
until Apex
ang tagal yung lifespan ng CSGO, right?
English, sir.
Look at Rainbow Six now. Look at Rainbow Six Siege. It's becoming that, where the esports scene of that is becoming huge.
Yeah.
If they've actually made a COD game that was just a COD game, a freaking good ass COD game that could span 5 years, then fine. Just make sure that you tell Treyarch to just stick to one and not make. Not
and
make
you really want Treyarch, DZ. And I know this from you. You really want it to be Treyarch.
Actually, if I were to really, Treyarch only because they make the only because Sledgehammer can't do it. I think Sledgehammer made a few of them, but Sledgehammer, I know they can't do it. And I know that Infinity Ward isn't the Infinity Ward. Actually, no, there's an Infinity Ward, I think, or it merged, or I don't know if it's still around. And this is not
sort of.
If they're around, it's not the OG. They're in Respawn. So if I really wanted a developer to do it, I would want Respawn to do it. But
Infinity
War. They're in EA. But yeah, I would just say Treyarch is because they're the developer, not because I would like them to.
Okay. But yeah, so...
And one last thing, sorry. Since you mentioned Treyarch, the only reason why I mentioned Treyarch is because they made the zombie series. So, you know what they should do? They should make like a solo game of zombies. Apparently zombies...
Make it free to play.
Yeah, the zombies thing sells for COD. Maybe that's one reason why they keep making new ones. But that sells. So like, make a separate. They just make a separate franchise, separate IP for the COD zombies, and make a separate one for Call of Duty Ultimate X Eternal Warfare, whatever.
Eternal Warfare remix prequel to the sequel to the prequel. I don't know. Too many remixes, sir.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
But will work for But will work for games. Actually, mention something. That's what. Because the thing is, we are. Yeah, aside from all the trolling, he did point out something good. Because the thing is, FIFA and NBA have been doing this.
Yeah.
2K franchise every single year you have to get to a new character. But I think the only difference, what differentiates the two is that every single year it's based. NBA has to adjust because the thing is, some players get better, some players retire, some players are weaker than some players get worse.
You can support that with patches.
You can support that with patches, but probably the physics involved in it, maybe, I don't know, because you can. Yeah. Sorry. Continue.
No. Go.
Oh yeah, but then with COD on the other hand, shooting games, they do get stale after a while. I mean, I was here what? Like when me and someone I'm not gonna name was here in GameByte last time, we were raving about PUBG along with Herald. Well, Jago didn't want to play PUBG because he was on a Mac that time. So now seeing how PUBG has gone, it's gotten a bit stale. I mean, fine, they've added more content, they added more guns, they added the Canton side, they have Vikendi now, Sandhawk, and Miramar, the 3 other maps, but it's just not the same, man. I mean,
we're focusing a lot on the Call of Duty League because that is kind of, it flew under the radar because people were focusing on the layoffs. But the thing is, since we're comparing it now to NBA 2K, when you look at it on the surface, okay, it's sort of similar because it's a yearly title and all of that. But when you look at it in a more in-depth way, especially when you compare it to FIFA, Mick mentioned players getting better. Take a step back a bit from that, Mick, and everyone. Yeah. You're looking at players. You're looking at real-life human beings. That's a whole nother layer to it. You don't go into Call of Duty and say, I'm going to be Sergeant Bone Dog.
Sergeant Silvestre.
Sergeant Bone Dog.
All right.
Sergeant Bone Dog. Maggots.
All right. And
I got you on my sides.
No, but you get what I mean, right? Like there's another aspect to NBA 2K and FIFA, and that's before you get into the nuance of Ultimate Team and having those characters versus your own created custom player playing as yourself. There's those levels to it that Call of Duty definitely does not have. And when you look at it on that scale, when you take a step back and you're like, oh my gosh, there's another level to that, it becomes apples and oranges. Yeah. You start to realize that's a totally different concept now.
Totally different concept.
The only thing they have similar is the fact that they release yearly, and it becomes a meme because it's a regular, like a sports game, because sports games have to be regular. Because physics becomes better in video games, engines get developed, players get better, jerseys are changed. Some of these things can be patched in, some of these definitely not. And going back to the whole Call of Duty League itself, they're gonna look to build a franchise-based league around Call of Duty. We could be eating our words in the next 2 years, and it's gonna be the most spectacular thing.
Biggest,
but we
ever
could
happen in
also
esports.
be dancing around them and saying, we called it. And it's easy for us to say. But a lot of
easy for us
people
to
were
hate.
also doubtful of the Overwatch League and the city-based franchise for esports. So far, it's kind of
You're
helped
cutting in
them.
and out.
Am I cutting in and out?
Yeah.
What a bit.
Well, luckily for the folks at home, I am not, because I am Prime. I am Discord Prime. I am call leader.
Jesus.
Yeah, but
Oh, okay, so it's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
for
I
me
should
it's
probably
fine.
get Discord Prime now.
Yeah, oh my god. Discord Prime. Now $99.99. So
What?
It's
$100?
So
What?
people were scoffing at the fact that the Overwatch League was going city-based when it's never been done in esports. But at the same time, it's allowed them to gain niche markets. It's strange, but because no one's ever done it, it's also kind of helped them. You never heard of New York being a big esports town, but the NYXL won it, and all of a sudden New York's like, yeah, we're proud of the Koreans who came to the town and are dominating. It's strange, and who knows? Maybe the Miami Artillery of Call of Duty X will be the biggest household team name in the next couple of years, but at the same time, it's easy to be super skeptical, right? Because it came out of nowhere. Like, oh, we're looking to make a franchise-based league for Call of Duty, a property that's been around forever.
So let me get this straight. So the reason why the Overwatch League first place, because they wanted to tap into the potential of esports to be like the Dotas, the League of Legends, all those games. Oh, and CS:GO, right?
Yeah.
And yet, compared to their competitors, they were nowhere near as successful. And I'm reasonably sure the international still makes way more money than Overwatch League ever will ever dream of, right? So why are they trying again with Call of Duty, an annual franchise, mind you, an annual franchise that changes every year, knowing that A, they haven't reached their full potential last year, according to their call it, and B, knowing that, all right, we've tried the Overwatch League thing, it did all right, but it wasn't like successful like the international. Why are we doing it again? That's why I'm skeptical. It makes absolute little to no sense.
Yeah.
Granted, it could bring communities together, but let's face it, this is a corporation. They don't give a damn about that. They want. And as far as a business practice is concerned, it sounds to me like smoke. They're just trying to make it sound good, but in reality, I honestly don't think this is a great idea, even on a business level.
Yeah.
I mean, the Overwatch League was fairly successful for the first thing of its kind.
I'm not saying it.
I'm saying like the TI is one, like it's like the World Cup, like it's one big tournament where people toss all their money in, and the league is kind of like a elongated thing that gets draggy midway through like the season. Yeah, like I it's interesting, right? Like, cause like Elgene said, if it was okay for its first season, sure, it was a big success in what it was, but in the grander scheme of things, it might have been just okay. They're looking to do that for a game or a franchise that's been around for way longer. Like it's I get your point, Elgene. Like it's weird because it's Call of Duty. Call of Duty.
I mean, Call of Duty will sell inevitably. We get that. And people will be interested in watching people do well in that one. And that's the thing about Call of Duty, like compared to Overwatch, in my opinion anyway, like, Overwatch does have a degree of skill to it, but by design, a lot of the heroes' abilities are there as like comeback mechanics to help all the newer players out. And that's kind of the same concept with the specialists in the current Call of Duties. If they were to go back to its Modern Warfare roots, and just keep it boots on the ground with just pick your weapons, pick your 10 things, and go back to the old days of Call of Duty esports, I can imagine it having much better success, because that actually, they're basically focusing on the people who actually do incredibly well without any strings attached. These are the absolutely best of the best kind of things. Yeah. Granted, there are the best of the best in Overwatch, but like I said, by design, Overwatch is meant to be a game that, you know, is very open or very accepting of newer players, that it gives them tools to, you know, to do well. But again, if they go back to that whole cutthroat, you just pick a weapon and go ham, and what these are the best things, I'm sure in some capacity it'd be successful.
Yeah.
But again, considering the middling success of the Overwatch League, I just can't. I still can't. I still can't say this is a good idea. Right? Yeah. But anyway.
Anyone
else?
Well,
they got
like.
Oh, DZ,
yeah. DZ, go ahead.
Well, wait. I think I really did say my thing about the whole COD.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Like,
you were the one who actually got kind of about it.
Bringing up the other franchises, like let's not just focus it on COD. Wait, I really also did say that. Okay, you know, for the sake of not repeating myself, how do I put it?
Oh my god, he lagged, guys. He lagged.
Oh, he lagged. He froze.
No,
Wait, may I say something about this?
Yes, Mick, go ahead. Go take my spot, please.
I honestly think the COD League is there, and you know, just like with any other esport, just with any other FPS shooter, they think that they could do what MLG is doing with CS:GO, or what other people are doing with CS:GO, or how Ubisoft is actually launching their own For Honor League and what was this again? And Rainbow Six Siege League. Now, here's the thing. Here's the problem. It's not that they annually they constantly change it with a new game. It's that they're not consistent with the content to actually have a player base big enough to form specific teams or even have minor league tournaments. They're trying to tap into the community. Now, here's the thing. If you lay off, here's another thing. If you lay off the community managers for specific areas, especially for a specific game, how are you going to build a community that's going to support this kind of league, right? Yeah. That's another thing. You're going to lay off a lot of community managers or non-esport related or publishing related positions, but you also need them to actually build these specific things. Like the Overwatch League needs a ton of production staff to actually make it what it is. And it actually was. Season 1 was actually a really good, in terms of production value, really pretty spot on, pretty good, high production value. Now, if you're going to take out those people, how are you going to recreate the exact same thing for COD League? Now you have two major leagues that they're going to be covering at such a spot on thing. Are they going to outsource? Maybe not. But outsourcing is not a good idea. Like, you look at Hearthstone, they outsource it to specific companies. Like, in the Taiwan and Thailand stop, they outsourced it to MET, Mineski Events Team.
Yeah.
To run it for them on their behalf.
Shout out to Mineski Events Team.
Shout out to MET, everybody there. Uncle Joy and, Uncle Joy, Mama's Boy, Adrian. And, another thing is COD League, why is it a bad idea? Because it's just COD. That's it.
It's just a
COD.
fish.
It's just COD. I mean, come on. I don't want to trash any other esport genres here, but Battle Royale games as an esport is also somewhat of a bad idea because there's a lot of things that are happening. How can you commentate on 100 people and what they're doing? What if you get 100? Yeah.
Sorry. But I mean, that's the thing also is they weren't specific, right? They didn't say it's going to be blackout.
Sorry, you cut off. I can't hear you completely.
Hello.
Yeah,
they didn't say it was going to be a blackout league. It could potentially be. What was that other mode with the heroes as well?
You mean multiplayer?
Yeah. It could be multiplayer.
Yeah.
Like.
No, I mean I'm saying like there are just some games that are not somewhat fit for esports. Like Battle Royale. it's meant to entertain. I mean, okay, fine. You can minimize the number of people there. That's why Sanhok was made in the PUBG to actually become a more competitive map, because the thing is, games there don't really last more than 30 minutes because it's really a small map.
Okay.
Other than like even less, maybe even like 15 to 20 minutes, because it's the smallest map among all of the maps that are available in PUBG. But then again, you still have 40 specific esports players. How will you be able to cover every action that has happened? So you have to go on recaps and replays. Maybe that'll work. But to me, that's just my personal opinion. You can hate on me all you want. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying it's not a good source of entertainment. It's entertaining to watch, but it's a lot is happening, and it's just confusing. It's the same thing with COD, since it's too fast paced for esports, for like viewers to digest in such a rapid pace, because everyone's just running, shooting each other. There's not even a lot of teamwork. It's really just run and gun. It literally gave birth to the FPS style of run and gun, unlike CS:GO, where okay, I see some guy here. Okay, wait, let me try to see. It's more tactical. They made it slower from its previous renditions to make it more tactical and make it more team oriented. But if COD does that with their new one, maybe this could work. Maybe.
Okay. Well, so your initial point was you're worried that the layoffs affected the teams that could possibly cover a COD league in an appropriate manner, in a well enough fashion. That's where we go back to our initial point that we bring up that we brought up in all our other topics, where it's going to be interesting to see how these layoffs affect everything in the coming months and years, because it is supposedly, according to them, a transition year. We have to wait and see at this point. We've given our opinions now. Very thorough. I might add, Elgene, Diego, Mick. Now, at this point, it is a waiting game. And
it is a waiting game.
Yeah, they will either live to regret this. They could actually middle out and just skirt along and be like, yeah, we survived it. Or it could turn out to be a masterstroke, a master class of sorts, and future companies will look and say, wow, Activision Blizzard did this right, and this will be the model for the future. After you've grown, you trim the fat, and then you grow again. So let's see where this goes. For now, I think we must bury the hatchet and leave things as they lie, because we need more info at this point now. Now is the time where we wait for more info.
Details.
Yes, more details. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We've gone on a mega-sized episode. It's been 2 hours officially. Unofficially, we've gone on for about 2 hours and 30 minutes. So we gotta end the show. Shaggies, we will get to your point after, because I like the old VR MMO thing, but we gotta end the show for the podcast only listeners, the audio only listeners, and the people watching the VODs. Elgene, you were quite bright, so I'm gonna throw it to you real quick. Final thoughts on everything today. Round things out for us.
Long story short, Apex Legends is a good game. It's got a lot of people on it. What else did we talk about? Metro Exodus. Yeah, Metro Exodus. I wish you just started with Epic Games instead of starting with Steam then jumping. Mm-hmm. And my heart goes out to the 800 people who got laid off, especially considering that. And the biggest takeaway I got from that call is the one thing that everyone seems to be pointing out for the call. And let me just go find it so I can actually quote it directly. Right?
Go.
This is the summary of that call. While our financial results for 2018 were the best in our history, didn't realize our full potential. They made all the money, and it still wasn't enough. Mm-hmm. They had to, and for some reason, they had to release 800. That's why everyone's mad. It just makes absolutely sense, you know what I mean? But anyway, Jago, what are your thoughts, I guess? Final thoughts.
Oh my god, I used to love Activision. I really
You really did. You really did.
They made
I can
good
attest to
games.
that.
Yeah, they had. I mean, well, back when Infinity Ward was still with them, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Totally
became a respawn.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater, that was a good one.
Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, Activision made so many good games.
Spyro.
I mean, next to EA, they're getting there.
Yeah,
they're getting there.
Yeah.
Apex, amazing game. Shaggy mentions a lot about AR MMOs, VR MMOs. Silfox mentions AR MMOs. Yeah, I mean, VR, AR, that's the future. Just give it more time. That little tree that little seed will grow into a peach.
Beautiful tree.
Yes, and we're all gonna be living in Sword Art Online. But anyway,
Sword Art
Online. The Oasis.
Or Dot Hack for like OG guys out there.
Okay, complete silence. Mick, man, final thoughts on today's episode.
Before I give my final thoughts, just want to give a shout out to Havatite and Roberto Bulberto, who actually commented on one of our episodes about Artifact.
Yeah, we're gonna have Havatite on real soon, guys.
We'd love to have you guys here. We'd love to pick your brain a bit here about what we spoke about in, I think, episode 80. And yeah, just want to give you guys a shout out. Thank you for commenting, and thank you for the support. Okay, so final thoughts. Apex. I'm gonna play Apex after this. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna play Apex until like 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning. Just trying to get more wins. 2, Metro Exodus. I agree with Elgene completely. Don't change your mind. Don't be a indecisive person, or rather an indecisive company. If you really wanna make money, go to where you're gonna make money. That's it. Plain and simple. Go to where you feel like you're gonna make more money. Don't seek all the options. Seek all options out. Check, review, and make some projections. I don't know, and then from there, you go with the one that you feel like is more beneficial for you. I personally think it's still Steam, even if it's 70-30, because the thing is, they do have the player base, and it's practically installed on everyone's computer in the world. Right?
It's true.
Okay, but then yeah, that's just my opinion again. And last but not the least, same with Elgin and Diego. Our hearts go out to everyone who got laid off, who are part of this restructuring of Blizzard. I know that this may have been your dream job, and I'm really sorry that you were caught in the crossfire. And all we can really say is that we are supporting you guys 100%. We hope you do guys bounce back from this, and you will, because we have faith in you, because you wouldn't be in Blizzard if you weren't good at what you do. That is the truth. And I'm pretty sure I can speak on all for all of us here at GameByte, that you guys will find a job, Blizzard. You guys will find a job, and you will be even better at it. I promise. I really do promise that. So yeah, that's it for me. What about you, Harold? What are your thoughts? Final thoughts on everything that we've discussed.
Metro Exodus, quit pulling out. Apex Legends, looking forward to the future.
Pulling out.
Apex Legends, we're coming in.
We're coming in.
Wow, is that the title for this episode? Pulling out.
It is now.
Pulling out. It is now. Episode 84. Pulling out.
XQC to the Gladiators, biggest news in Blizzard history. Oh man, and of course, the layoffs happening at Activision Blizzard. If you go through Twitter right now, you're gonna see a lot of developers, because they've been encouraged to tweet to help look for jobs. Retweet them if you can. Who knows? Someone following you might be able to help them out. Might be able to retweet. Eventually, 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon will help them find the job. Who knows? And in terms of the rest of the earnings call and how Activision Blizzard are looking to plan for the future, a lot of me hopes this ends up being for the best, because I don't want 800 people to be out of a job for no good reason. As a consumer, I'm absolutely hoping this is just the next evolution for a company that we've grown to know and love. And as much as possible, I want this to be it's not, the end won't justify the means, but at least if this ends up with something positive, it's a small consolation. Or I guess as a consumer, it's a consolation. It's a big consolation. It's not going to erase what happened, but at the same time, hopefully it leads to better games. And that's all I can do, and that's all I can hope for right now. In the end, we're still going to look to make content and continue to do these podcasts, report on the news as well as we can, make as many jokes as possible. Some may involve dicks, but indirectly, directly, Mick. Mick, I miss Mick's Vicks. But yeah, that's it, guys.
Where is it? Where did I put it? I forgot where I put it.
That's right. As Mick looks,
you might see it in after show.
We're going to thank all our most recent followers. Thank you to Saltazar, Lazarus PH, Renzo Saurus, our newest shoutcaster for Quit Stalling's Overwatch Scrim Nights, Aaron Clare, A-Joking87, Strawberries, Eripto, Kronos _MLG, Casper4114, and of course, Get It Lang Bogi! Thank you to all our subs, Human Panda 22, who has now hit 9 months in a row, Miko P, Sensei Humor, Francis, who tied in second for with 5 subs in total. Neo Gear, of course, coming in at, I guess that would be the 5th. BMO, King of Oo, Monster Plays, I think they're the same person, I'm not sure. Instant DZ, Notorious KGM, and So __ sick, and all our subs. We also want to give Neo Gear a huge shout out, continuing to pile on with his bit cheers. Number 1, numero uno with 3,000 bits. And of course, Nope _plays also cheering us on yesterday, totaling up now to 2,700. ElderDjinn and Nerf Diva tied for 3rd place at 2,000. If not now, Gwen, Mershi, Gamoko, Tita Gaming, Zinsa DZ, and Hweh. You guys are all deserving of our love. We love you all. Thank you guys so much for everything that you do for us. If you don't want to cheer us on with bits, if you don't want to sub to us, there is a donate button on the lower left portion of your screen if you're watching live on Twitch, or in the description if you're watching on YouTube and listening to the audio only version of the podcast. But that is it for us. If you want to find more of Quit Stalling and GameByte, check us out on Facebook.com/QuitStallingUs. We're on Twitter at QuitStallingUs. We're on Instagram at QuitStalling. You can find all our videos on YouTube at YouTube.com/QuitStalling. We're on Twitch, Twitch.tv/QuitStalling is where you're watching us right now if you're watching live. Follow us, subscribe, cheer us on with some bits. And of course, you can listen to all our podcasts audio only on Spotify. You can stream us there. You can download us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Leave us a 5-star review. Or you can check out all our lovely hosts like ElderDjinn. Where can they find you outside of GameByte?
When I'm not on GameByte, you can find me on Twitch. I stream regularly on Mondays. I generally stream Hearthstone on Mondays and everything else on Tuesdays and not Fridays, but Mondays and Wednesdays. Sorry, not Tuesdays. But yeah, you'll find me on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/ElderDjinn. You can also find me on Twitter at ElderDjinn. And if you guys can't find me, if you guys really want to get my attention, you can find me on Discord. There's the Quit Stalling Discord. You can find me there and just give me just shoot me a question. I can answer it real instant.
I've been loving your clips, by the way. Of course, you can find all his clips on twitch.tv/ElderDjinn. That's ELDRDJINN. Yes, check it out. Mick the Fury Bot. Where can the folks at home find you when you're not on GameByte?
When I'm not on GameByte, you can find me on Twitter. That is at the FuryBot. You can find me on Instagram at the FuryBot as well. And of course, you can find me here every Wednesday night, 9:30 p.m. Philippine time, 5:30 a.m. California time. Only here on the Quit Stalling Media Network. What about you, Diego? We're gonna find folks at home find you.
These nuts.
What about you, these nuts? What about you, these nuts?
I guess that's 3 times for the show. All right, you guys can find me on my Twitch.
These nuts.
For usual Twitch, which is twitch.tv/InstaDZ, INSDA, INSDADEEZEE. Also, that's the same that goes for Twitter and Instagram. If you guys want to check out my website, it's www.diegozz.com. As you can see, I am so tired, but I still have the energy to play Apex tonight. Harold, where can the fine folks go find you?
Insta these
Thanks,
nuts.
these nuts. Way to throw it back to me. You can find me
6,
on Twitter at
7.
Herald Plays, on Instagram at Herald Plays, on Twitch, twitch.tv/Herald Plays. That's HERALDPLAYSRESPCT. This PODCAST. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it.
Yeah.
One of our finest, best episodes of GameByte. We will see you guys next week. Same bite time, same bite channel. But till then, get off your butts and quit stalling. We'll see you guys next week. Bye, everybody. Bye.